So the joining method in today's video is a flat slip stitch. It's somewhat similar to a regular slip stitch on the back joining, but there are some differences to it, and the outcome is quite different. So we're going to work with a hook, and again I'm using this blue yarn to make a little bit of contrast so it's easier to see what we're doing. We're going to work on the back side of our squares, so let your front sides or your right sides facing each other, and we have our line of stitches up here that we're going to work in. We're going to start in the second one in the corner. If you have 3, you can start in your centered one. If you only have 1, well, that's the one you're going to use. We're going to use the inner stitches. So for me, the inner stitches is the 2 stitches on each of the squares that are closest to each other. So that would be like those 2 stitches, or those 2. So not those outer ones, but the 2 inner ones. I have put a slip knot onto my hook, and we are going to start in that second corner. And again, I'm starting in my inner stitch and also the inner one on this one up here. And for this first stitch, I'm just going to make a slip knot and pull through. Then I'm going to take my yarn and I'm going to put it back on the back side of the project, so it will be between the squares but in between them. So it's going to be in here, and we're going to keep it in there because that creates something quite cool actually. So we're going to work in the next stitch, so using the inner stitch, going over, keeping the yarn between, so going over it, going into the inner stitch of the second square, grabbing the yarn and pulling through all 3 loops, so a slip stitch. Same one for the next. So in the inner stitch, crocheting over or going over the blue yarn, finding that inner stitch on the second square and doing a slip stitch. And you might want to pull down a little bit on this yarn when you do it so it doesn't get too tight. One more time, finding that inner stitch, going over the blue yarn, finding that inner stitch on the other side, so it's actually sitting here, and pressing down a little bit on this one, just use your nail, and slip stitch through all 3. Let's do that one more time. Over the blue yarn, keep it underneath your project, and finding that inner stitch over here. So this is over a chain space. Remember to work in the stitch and not in the chain space. Inner on this yellow one and the inner one on this orange red one. Again, pressing down a little bit on the blue one. Let's have a look. So on this side, it looks like this. So it basically just looks like you have slip stitches sitting right here. And that is, well, really what you have. But if we turn it over, it looks quite different. You get these kind of little, I don't know what to call them, but these little waves kind of thing that is sitting here. I think for using a contrast color, this is not the best method, but what I really want to show you is how it looks if you use the same color. So here I have used a green color to do the joining, and I think this looks really nice. It's basically flat, so it's not creating any ridges or anything for your project. As you can see on the back, you do have this line of slip stitches, and you can kind of see this beige color sitting in here like we had on the other one. But on the right side, I think it looks really, really nice. So this joining method is, in my opinion, definitely best when you have a color that matches one of the squares or both of them if they're the same color. But it can also look cool with a contrasting color if this is something you like. And again, if you want to have just like this line of slip stitches, you're just going to do this joining method on your right side or your front side instead of the back side. So this was a flat slip stitch joining. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in the next one.